at the jail. And just if I may back up, once I proceeded to take Patrick Lowry to the jail, and my husband was in the vehicle with me at the time, it took Patrick Lowry to the jail before I could actually get Patrick processed out. Sorry, processed out or processed into the jail. Vicky Bass came in with her paperwork already prepared to off her bond on Patrick Lowry. So if she had no knowledge, or she was not involved in this situation, she would have not just known to be able to come down to the jail with her paperwork prepared. And actually, the magistrate's office should have on tape where Vicky Bass came into the magistrate's office and left out before I ever finished with my paperwork on Patrick Lowry. So that, to me, says that she had her paperwork prepared, had knowledge of this whole incident. And so she came in, off her bond, and left out, and made the comment to Patrick that he was a hard person to catch.
Is that a normal thing where bail bondsmen will come in with paperwork finished, drop them, and leave? Is that a normal type of thing? Does that take place?
The only way for that to normally happen, you don't normally just know that your person that you're looking for, that you have a bond forfeiture on, is going to be being picked up by agent, John Doe or what have you. So in order for you to have your paperwork already completed, you would have had to have had knowledge that that person was being taken into the jail by the bondsman or by an officer of some sort. So that doesn't just happen.
So from your perspective, this is your business, you know what goes on. You felt from that point something didn't seem right for her to be able to come in, drop paperwork, and you weren't even finished yet.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
And for her to basically, when she organized this upon talking to my husband on numerous occasions, was going to be on the scene, but then supposedly she was sick at the time that it came for her to take place and meet us to do this pickup. But yet, and still, she could arrive at the jail and do her paperwork, which she had numerous bonds on him, whereas I only had like maybe one or two. She had probably 3 or 4 on him, and she was able to go in and perform her work before I was. That tells the story that she clearly had knowledge that she had 2 individuals out there to apprehend Patrick Lowry, which she states in these affidavits that she paid these individuals for going out there. And as a result of that, Mickey Biggs says Patrick Lowry complained, stating that my husband, Merlin Smith, handcuffed him, and he went to the jail to take the complaint, but Mr. Biggs has never produced a complaint from Patrick Lowry. Patrick Lowry has on numerous occasions administrative appeals in Raleigh for Department of Insurance. Patrick Lowry testified that he never made a complaint against Mickey Biggs, but yet my license against Merlin Smith.
Now, did those statements make it into any of these affidavit statements? Did he ever state who arrested him throughout his testimony in court?
I have these statements here.
So he did make that testimony in court that your husband or someone else arrested him, whomever arrested him. Did he make who did he say arrested him in those court testimonies?
In the court testimonies, the recorded court documents, Patrick Lowry states that I handcuffed him, that he states that he went to my husband to handcuff him, but he said my husband told him, no, I can't do that, I'm not the bondsman, Yolanda has to do that. He also states that Mickey Biggs, North Carolina Department of Insurance investigator, showed up at the jail the day that I surrendered him and questioned him, asking him who handcuffed him, and asked him to tell him that Merlin Smith handcuffed him. And we do have the pictures of Mickey Biggs. This is the Department of Insurance investigator that's causing so much havoc in my family's lives and my friends' lives.
Didn't he also show pictures of a black male trying to get Patrick to?
Yes.
Can you give her the mic and let her ask that question?
Didn't Mickey Biggs also present a picture of a black male, which happened to be your husband, Merlin Jerome Smith, trying to coerce Patrick Lowry to say, yes, this is the gentleman, in exchange for some bonding assistance?
Yes. Patrick Lowry also stated, which is also in the court documented records, that Mickey Biggs showed him several individuals, one of them being my husband's, pictures, and asked him to say that my husband, Merlin Smith, is the one that handcuffed him, and he, upon numerous occasions, told him no.
So it was almost as if he was leading him on to say.
Yes.
So that's how you feel. That's what your husband had to say, that he was basically trying to.
Yes, he was trying to coerce Patrick to say that no one else handcuffed him but my husband. And it's stated in, like I said, numerous court documents and exhibits, and also an investigator by the name of Thurman Mitchell also has a statement that will attest to that as well. And Mickey Biggs has taken none of this into consideration. Actually, going back to that, Patrick was allowed access to use the telephone to actually talk to another agent by the name of a Terry Smith, who is no longer operating as a bail bondsman. But Patrick said he thought that he was going to be rebonded out by this person. Mind you, that's not proper jail procedure for an inmate to be able to just go up and make a free phone call. I mean, they have the one phone call that they can make to their individuals or their families, but the jail it's not proper protocol for them to get an inmate and bring them to the front to make a phone call to a bondsman.
Wow.
And so he was allowed that courtesy by Mickey Biggs, because there again, I feel that my family was targeted to be put out of business by Mickey Biggs being a Department of Insurance investigator whose home is in Robeson County. He's grown up with my peers, the local bondsmen there in Robeson County, who've been there for years.
Okay, let's talk about now. After those court proceedings and those testimonies, and the man was taken into custody, what happened to you from those actions? What happened to your business, your family, your everything? What happened?
After Patrick was taken into custody and supposedly he filed a complaint against my company and against my husband.
And that complaint has never been produced?
That complaint has never been produced.
Okay, go ahead.
And Patrick says he never made that complaint. Then Department of Insurance via Mickey J. Biggs has proceeded to take my license, so I'm no longer an active bail bondsman. My business, Cab Bail Bonding, which has been in business since 2006.
How long did it take him to take your license? How quickly from the time of the arrest, how long did it take him to take your license?
From the time of the arrest, which was in 2009, my license was taken in August of 2010, so approximately a little bit less than a year.
Okay.
And there again, there was no offer of mediation, no offer of could we possibly put you on suspension, because keep in mind I had no other grievances in my file, no other complaints. Actually, we were the Mother Teresa's of bail bonding. We tried to help people the best way that we possibly could. We basically had a good rapport with the community. Truly, I feel my husband basically was the PR person for the company. He answered the phone, but he could associate with anyone from all walks of life. And I truly feel that my competitors basically wanted to put me and my family out of business because we had such a well-rounded niche, from me going in to do the bonding after I got off work from my day job, my husband answering the phones, being able to relate with the guys on the street to the people in the White House, my son being able to write bonds as well. We had perfected our business quite well.
Let me ask you a question. How many other African American bail bondsman businesses was in that area where you were?
And that I was probably the only one that was in Robeson County on a daily basis.
On a daily basis?
There were other ones that would come from other counties and just go back to their respective counties.
Now, what was the relationship with you and the other bail bonding companies, and expound on that?
We found out in bail bonding that you basically could not have bail bond buddies. Basically, that bail bonding pretty quickly found out was a pretty cutthroat business, and that if you just merely tried to associate and talk with different individuals, perhaps maybe they were just critiquing you to try and infringe upon your business, or to maliciously go out and make up something to infringe upon your business. And so we truly kept to ourselves. We really went in, did our job, and got back out of the county, went back home to Bladen County.
How were your prices compared to theirs? What made you had mentioned at some time about how the other bail bondsmen how they felt about you and why they possibly felt a certain way about you. Can you expound on what you said about that?
Well, when I first started bail bonding, I was very hungry, basically. So the thrill of doing my first $500 bond just was like, it just inspired us to go out and get, more business for my company. So as far as my pricing was concerned, 15%, which is the maximum amount that a bail agent can charge in the state of North Carolina, that was not what we charged in all instances. We would do bonds for 10%, for 8%, because we felt like a piece of the pie was better than none of the pie. And there's no law against saying that you can't go do a bond for $0 if you want. So therefore, when we first started bonding, I think we made a lot of enemies from my competitors because we advertised. No one else had really had to advertise because they were complacent. They had been, fixtures in the community for so long. So their names, Bass Bail Bonding, Smith Bail Bonding, they were fixtures in the community. So you were going to call them if you went to jail. When Cab Bail Bonding came out, no one knew us. So we put out like the real estate signs in different places. We gave out business cards. We started putting cards in the jail. No one else had done that before. And it even had a comment from a magistrate that said, you've lasted longer than any of the other bail bondsmen have lasted, that usually they, referring to the older, more established bondsmen, are able to drive them off usually with their tactics or with their just their actions. And I just was not built from that type of cloth.
So you lost your license because what was the statement as to why you lost your license? Why did they say they had jurisdiction to make you lose your license?
My license was taken based upon the fact that I had an unlicensed agent. My husband was on the scene during the surrender of Patrick Lowry.
Okay, and Vicky Bass, did she also have unlicensed bail or unlicensed people there?
She did. She had two individuals there. Mickey J. Biggs was given their tag numbers. He was given phone numbers. Even Vicky Bass supposedly gave them phone numbers. But they've never been incriminated. My husband's been charged as acting as an unlicensed bondsman. They have never been charged with anything.
So Vicky Bass is your husband has been charged, but the other people that were there has never been charged for being there.
Never been charged.
Okay. Now, you stated earlier that one of the individuals that was on the scene actually went into the home, actually put his hand on the man to possibly gesture him to get in the car or something to that effect, right, and was saying things almost as if a bail agent possibly.
Right.
And then from that point forward, do you know of any actions being taken against Vicky Bass at all? Any types of reprimands from having those people there? Was she reviewed? Anything?
To my knowledge, no. I actually spoke on several occasions with Angela Hatchell with North Carolina Department of Insurance, and she simply stated to me that the only thing that she could tell is that she had a disciplinary action for filing a report incorrectly. A monthly bondsmen have to file monthly reports on all of their activity to the Department of Insurance on a monthly basis. The only thing that she could tell me is that she was under review for reporting a monthly reporting issue, but nothing with her having unlicensed individuals.
What race is Vicky Bass?
She is Native American.
Okay, and the people that were out there with her, what race were they?
One was Native American and one appeared to be Caucasian.
Okay, and you're a black-owned business. She's a Native American-owned business.
Yes, ma'am.
And both you and her had unlicensed people there. Your person did not speak. Her person did speak, but your license has been taken from you.
Right. Her person actually assisted Patrick Lowry. Went into the home with Patrick Lowry to go put on proper attire to go to the jail. Stayed in the home for quite some time. And
you've lost your license, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And has she lost her license, or is she still practicing today?
Vicky Bass has never skipped a beat. She is still practicing. She's never stopped. And her story has never. Mickey Biggs has failed. My picture and my family's picture has been paraded across every newspaper in Robinson County. Vicky Bass's name was never, or her company never paraded in these newspapers.
Financially, and emotionally, what has this done to you and your family?
Financially,